Hey friends, this video is about the auditory pathway, that is the neural pathway which enables us to hear a sound. Firstly, let us briefly discuss about the anatomy of ear. Ear consists of three parts: the outer ear or external ear, middle ear, and the internal ear or inner ear. As you can see the figure, a sound signal in the environment is collected by the pinna that passes through the external auditory canal and strikes the eardrum, which is also known as the tympanic membrane. The vibrations of the tympanic membrane are transmitted through the three ear ossicles located in the middle ear. The three ear ossicles are malleus, incus, and stapes, and these vibrations are transmitted to the stapes footplate through these ossicles, which cause it to move. The movements of the stapes footplate causes pressure changes in the labyrinthine fluids, which are simply the fluids present in the inner ear, which moves the basilar membrane. This stimulates the hair cells of the organ of Corti. As you may be knowing, the organ of Corti is the sense organ of hearing and is situated on the basilar membrane. And the hair cells are important receptor cells of hearing which transduce sound energy into electrical energy. And these electrical impulses are carried along the auditory nerve. Thus, the mechanism of hearing can be broadly divided into three. Firstly, the mechanical conduction of sound, which constitutes the conductive apparatus. Second one, the transduction of mechanical energy into electrical impulses, which constitutes the sensory system of cochlea. And the third one is the conduction of electrical impulses to the brain, which constitutes the neural pathways. In this video, we may be mainly focusing on the neural pathways. Now on to a simple mnemonic for remembering the neural pathway. The auditory pathway is E. coli Ma, where E stands for 8th nerve. The 8th cranial nerve is the vestibulocochlear nerve, and the cochlear division of vestibulocochlear nerve is the first one. And C stands for cochlear nucleus. Both the dorsal and ventral cochlear nuclei are part of the auditory pathway. O stands for olivary nucleus, which is the superior olivary nucleus. L stands for lateral lemniscus. I stands for inferior colliculus. M stands for MGB, that is medial geniculate body, and A is for the auditory cortex of the brain, which is represented by the Brodmann's area 41 and 42. It is located in the superior temporal gyrus. Now the whole auditory pathway consists of 5 order of neurons which sequentially conduct the electrical impulses, finally reaching the brain. The first order of neurons carry the impulses from the cochlear division of 8th nerve to the dorsal and ventral cochlear nucleus. The second order of neurons carry impulses from the cochlear nucleus to the superior olivary nucleus. Third order of neurons carry it through the lateral lemniscus to the inferior colliculus. The fourth order of neurons carry impulses from inferior colliculus to the medial geniculate body, and the fifth order of neurons carry the impulses from the medial geniculate body to the auditory cortex. Now on to the auditory pathway proper. As you can see in the figure, I have marked out all the basic structures taking part in the auditory pathway. The first order neurons are formed by the cochlear division of 8th cranial nerve, which starts from the hair cells. Hair cells are the important receptor cells of hearing and transduce sound energy into electrical energy, and these project to the ipsilateral, that is of the same side dorsal and ventral cochlear nuclei of the medulla oblongata. The cochlear nerves are bipolar neurons whose cell bodies are present in the spiral ganglion located in the modulus. Now on to the second order of neurons. These neurons start from the cochlear nuclei and project to the superior olivary nuclei bilaterally and to the nuclei of trapezoid body contralaterally. So, the superior olivary complex is the first nucleus in the auditory pathway that integrates binaural stimuli, which means the auditory signals from both ears converge on single neurons. It receives information from the trapezoid body for comparing the timing of auditory stimuli arriving at both ears. All these contribute to the localization of the source of sound. Now on to the third order neurons. The third order neurons from the superior olivary nuclei ascend bilaterally in the lateral lemniscus to the inferior colliculi of the midbrain. Fibers from trapezoid body ascend ipsilaterally in the lateral lemniscus to the inferior colliculi. Some of these fibers from the superior olivary nuclei, third order neurons, project to the medial geniculate body. Fibers in the lateral lemniscus give collaterals to the reticular nuclei and cerebellum. Thus, the body becomes alert and adjusts its posture to protect itself from the source of sound stimulus that may be harmful. For example, startling reaction to noise. The fourth order neurons project bilaterally from the inferior colliculi to the medial geniculate body of the thalamus. The fifth order neurons start from the medial geniculate body and terminate in the primary auditory cortex, represented by the areas Brodmann areas 41 and 42 situated in the superior temporal gyrus. Now let's have a quick review. These are the first order neurons with its cell bodies in the spiral ganglion and running from the hair cells to the dorsal and ventral cochlear nucleus. Now the second order of neurons running from the cochlear nucleus to the superior olivary nucleus. The third order of neurons starting from the superior olivary nucleus running in the lateral lemniscus to the inferior colliculus, and they are having multiple projections. The fourth order of neurons starting from the inferior colliculus to the medial geniculate body. The fifth order neurons starting from the medial geniculate body to the auditory cortex. In the auditory pathway, there is an orderly tonotopic organization of the fibers. That means each fiber responds to a given tone, and the arrangement of fibers is based on the tone of sound. The systematic pattern of fibers is evident from the first order of neurons right up to the primary auditory cortex. Now let's discuss about the tonotopic organization of fibers in the auditory pathway responding to high tone and low tone. The various areas are cochlea, the cochlear nucleus, the core neurons in the central nucleus of the inferior colliculus, which responds to sound, and the auditory cortex. So the high tone is generated in the basal part of the cochlea, which is transferred to the innermost part of the cochlear nucleus and are transmitted to the deep layers of the core neurons of the inferior colliculus and reach the posteromedial part of the auditory cortex. Whereas the low tone is generated in the apical part of cochlea and is transferred to the peripheral part of cochlear nucleus, which reaches the superficial layers of the core neurons of the inferior colliculus, ultimately reaching the anterolateral part of the auditory cortex.